Thank you, Dan and Brian. I think I speak for everyone and appreciate the brevity of your presentation. I just wanted to thank everybody for being here today. Today I have with me Elijah Moyers. Just to tell you a little bit about Elijah. He served in the U.S. Navy as a second-class petty officer. He was a Seahawk helicopter crew chief, an aviation rescue swimmer, combat search and rescue crewman. He joined the Cahokia Police Department in 2007, serving as a patrolman and a field training officer, as well as a canine officer. And he joined the Illinois State Police in 2013 as a master sergeant and again canine officer, and he's in charge of their active shooting training coordinator. So he's going to share with us a little bit. He recently spoke at our church where he gave active shooter information to our church congregation and the leadership there. So I thought it'd be an interesting program today just to have him come in and share with us. So help me give a warm welcome to Mr. Elijah Moyers.
First off, I didn't know much about the Rotary Club till today, and you guys are pretty amazing. So thank you for all you do for the community. That's pretty big. Sorry, I'm nervous. I'm not good at public speaking. I'll do better when I'm just teaching. So, like what we do, my job at the state police, other than patrol, I teach our officers how to react to active shooters. So we go into schools, we do a lot of training. We teach them movements, how to react in certain situations. So on the flip side of that, we started realizing that not just police officers need to know how to react to an active shooter, but also civilians, schools, churches, businesses, whoever. So we kind of, with other programs that are out there, kind of developed our own little way of teaching people how to react to these types of situations. Just a quote by Ben Franklin: by failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. So if you're not training, you're not doing some type of preparation for types of events that could happen. You're setting yourself up for failure, obviously. This was developed based on some FBI DCA stuff. Options of Florida, we use it for businesses. I'm gonna kind of go through this really quick. This program is about a 4 to 5 hour program where we actually do practical things. I'm not very good with mics. I can't, if you can't hear me.
You know what, if you don't use mic, could you do me a favor, could you present out there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Through that table?
Yes. This is not my company. So obviously, this type of thing happened in this area. 2009, person walked into Miracle Christian Church and executed the pastor. So it does happen here. There's also a lot more incidents of businesses. It's not just churches, it's not just schools. It could be in your business, it could be in your office, wherever you are. So this is the definition of active shooter, or the FBI's definition. I don't have a lot of faith in the FBI anymore, so you guys can take that as you want. So this is for the FBI's research. Anytime you have an active shooter, 5 to 6 minutes before the police are going to show up. So this training is very crucial to have so that you understand that time frame that you're waiting on us to get there to kind of help save the day, hopefully, that you can kind of keep yourself safe. You're totally safe. Does anyone own a business here? A lot of you guys own business owners? Yes. So first part alert, biggest thing in this to kind of go through it pretty quick. I apologize, that's kind of a lot of time. Big thing is know who's calling, who's going to call 911, what's our plan of escape going to be. Through this process, we go over run, we go over hide, we go over fight. So 3 different types of things that you can do in order to kind of keep yourself safe. I had a video here to show you guys, but it is not working. Every time I put it on the computer, I can't get that. So, real quick, this is kind of how we go through this training. Hide. If you can't escape, then evade. So hiding means if you're typically our way of doing this. We kind of teach them in your classroom, we have closets, we have devices that we can put on doors, we can lock the doors up to keep people safe. This could also be implemented into a business, office space, whatever, your place is. So most consider light doors to be this large casting with these hardcore doors and the moat. When in reality, it's as simple as someone throwing a rock through and getting access to your facility. Don't just like the doors turn off the lights. You want to try to make that person feel that as if they're passing your room, your office, wherever you are, that there's no signs of life. Therefore, they see their own hot bulb. They want to go to the prey that they can see, not with the atmosphere. This is just an example of an easy way to lock down different types of doors. So when we do this training, we actually will take your facility, we'll come through, we'll look at stuff, we'll give you ideas of how to actually secure your facility. Usually when we do the training, wherever we're at, we'll have our staff come in a few days before, walk through the property, get an evaluation, we'll go back and we'll have the plan set up that when we actually do the training, we already have it. Just so you guys are aware, if this is something you're interested in, I have a crew of people that actually help me teach this. It is not for money. You don't come out to gain any type of payment. We're just here to make sure that the community stays safe. So it's just something that we offer because this is my way of doing it. The run section of this, basically is find a route of escape from wherever you're at and get to a location, rally point. If you have that way, for schools, it's big to have a location because we want to be accountable for all the children, all the teachers. In your business, obviously, wherever you're working at, obviously you want to have accountability for it in there. That's your point of staging. Again, parents, you want to have someone that media, things like that could respond to keep them. That'll be more if it's a small business or something. We'll be handling most of that stuff. Fight, basically what it is. If they're coming to hurt you or people that work for you, we kind of go over techniques of, obviously your body, your hands, your skill level. I don't know who's skillful in fighting, who's not. But you also have objects throughout your office. You're building your employment place of work where utilize it and make sure that you're committed to subduing this attacker so that you can safely get out or what have you. We're not teaching you guys to be a savior to apprehend this suspect, but we just want to make sure that you have the skills to know that you can get out and keep everyone that you work with. Yeah, a lot of this is we're actually going through the training and drills with how we're going to do that. We have scenario based where we'll start off with putting people in classrooms and kind of just doing a lockdown. Through our training, we also have sim rounds, so we try to simulate as much inoculate stress as we can bring to the table. So I want you to feel that you're actually involved in the action sheet. Because if I can recreate that as much as I can now, then it will let you know that if you can handle it or not. We've had people, we've done Maryville Christian Church, Maryville Christian School, my church as well. My wife actually attended the last training we did, and it kind of knocked her down for a while, just stress, and it really affected her because we tried to make it so realistic. Just because I want you to know how you're going to react, because I would rather you know how you're going to react simulated than when it really happens. I think this might be. I wanted to bring in and kind of go over this with you guys, and then also, like I said, I coordinate our training for the police officers and how we do their training as well, and kind of what to expect from that end. I'm not going to have it. I wanted to give you guys time to kind of ask questions if you had any. Again, that's kind of squishy. I can go through that as far as it's a lot of information in a short amount of time, but in order to be able to kind of get it to stick, I would have to have again 4 to 5 hours to do it. So, does anyone have any questions about any of that? Yes, ma'am.
You do come to a business for training. How long is that training period with the staff or?
So if, let's say someone wanted to come in and kind of go through it, I would like, when I would meet with whoever, come through, get an idea of the layout of your facility or office. That way we have an idea of how we're gonna set this training up. And then we'll come back, again, depending on the size, we did about 60 to 70 people up there, or at Metro Community Church, through the summer, and it took about 4. And that's, you know, splitting up, we had multiple regions where we kind of doing the same drill, we just haven't, you know, it depends on how many people I have instructed, like, they need to have.
How long does it take to, find out very much?
So I essentially, like, I just have people that'll reach out, say, hey, I'm very interested in this training, I get it to people that will teach it. We get, again, it's not something like, again, it's not our job, it's not something that we do. It's just kind of a side gig that like, hey, you want help, you love help, you just kind of want to push back in the knowledge that we have. So, I can tell you if you're interested in it, give me a call, we'll start working on it, I'll come check your business out. It could be 2 weeks, it could be 2 months. I can't give you a strict settlement, just because especially the holidays too, with the instructors that we have. Just availability, some guys were state police officers with us, have retired since, and they do other stuff, and so just trying to find that way. Typically, we do the best on that way.
That's correct.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes,
Can I ask a question not related to the,
Yes.
the canine thing?
yes, sir.
Do you guys, is it one officer to the certain dog, and then so, like, do you take that dog home at night? Where does the dog live?
Yeah, so with law enforcement, it's different than military, typically you have a dog where you work by numerous people and stays in there. When dogs, typically the dog will spend against our version of the same handler, if you have my own. Yeah.
They kind of reference like a fire extinguisher to be used as a weapon type of thing. Is there anything that just a general business owner, short of having an actual firearm in the office, might want to have just in the office? I'm thinking things like zip ties or something like that to be able to.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's like, you know, sometimes,
Some stick.
yeah, nice stick or very easy to get a bag at night. I know a lot of people are just waiting for gun walls. A lot of businesses don't want guns inside their business, I totally understand that. But my philosophy, especially with my career and things that I've seen, if I own a business, I would definitely have my. I would make sure we get some type of training, depending, I know different businesses is what it is, but I'd at least have someone trained or at least some type of security. Again, just so you have that.
You're voluntary, this is what you and the other officers, if you call.
Yeah, it's just kind of like a lot of us that kind of got together and talked, so we call it rapid deployment, which is our active shooter program through the Illinois State Police that we teach other officers how to respond. We'll do like 2-week training throughout the summer, but we'll get like a school set up legit active shooter scenarios where they have to respond to the wind and neutralize the threat. And so on top of that, there's other places that offer this type of training. They call it the 4 E's. Some places run, hide, fight. It just depends on what company is presenting it. So we kind of had a bunch of guys go through that training. We're not certified in any of those at all. We've just done it and we just kind of push in our knowledge. So it's not like if it's something that anyone's interested in, I can bring the guys I can do it with. We can come and do this training with you. It's not a certification. I'm not certified to anything. It's just, we have the knowledge. We just want to get it better. That's it.
What are the most vulnerable situations? Is it the churches, the schools?
I don't think there's really an answer to that. You know, if you look at history of active shooter scenarios throughout the country, I mean, there's been businesses, factories, schools, churches. I don't think it's really, they don't discriminate on where they want to go. Just because you work in a small office in an insurance company doesn't mean that you're not a threat to someone in there. A lot of it's mental health. Some of it is, you know, I have a reason to be here, but some is just, hey, I mean, with the Maryville Christian shooting, the guy had no ties to the church at all. He was just mentally ill, and that was the first strong incident.
The current getting involved in, you know, with some kind of breakdown, some systemic procedures. So the ISP, like, use that to review it in your internal processes?
So a lot of that, yes, we've actually, we'll take each individual case like that, dissect it and look at what we're doing, and if our response would have been the same as that. So we had already been kind of implementing this, but after that, so we already had the idea of, if I show up as an officer to the scene of an active shooter, I need to wait for these two people to get there, because I need that back. We totally thrown that out. If you show up to an active shooter scenario and they're actively shooting inside, then you're required to go inside. We've actually started training guys, girls out how to do that. Like single officer entry, single officer room entry, single officer searching, all those things. We trained it to the fact of you may have to go by yourself. So, yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Your slide alluded to that you're going after the shooter. And I know what that implies because I've had some experience. That means you're not addressing people who may be injured. You're going directly to that shooter.
So, yeah, and that's a good question, because that comes up a lot. So you're talking about law enforcement response to an active shooter. Our main goal was to go straight to the shooter and neutralize the threat, right? That's what we do as law enforcement. The problem is, and this is, and we have discussions about this. Some people might disagree with me. But the idea of that is, if I show up to a shooting in a school where there's people on the ground bleeding, and I step over them, the problem is, how could you step over a child bleeding on the ground? Yeah, absolutely, it's the worst thing ever, but if I don't step over that child and I don't continue to go find that threat, then instead of 4 kids, I'm gonna have 5. Does that make sense? So yes, that states that's, so that's been that's the way we've always trained, right? Is go over the casualties, neutralize them. Well, now we've started implementing new ideas and training with other departments, other companies as well, where we try to basically come in now. Security, the problem is we come in law, if I go to this room and I come back out, that room is gonna check, but then as I go back out, I get the room back. That makes sense, because somebody could have came into that room without me knowing, sitting on the amount of people. So, the idea now is once we start clearing the building, we bring more people, we have the capacity, the manpower to do that. A lot of staffing now, but start setting up security portals between, as I clear a spot, then I have security. Which means I can start bringing EMS even while I'm still searching for the prey. So we're trying to advance that idea of, hey, yeah, right now we try to stay and go over these casualties, but I, just like anyone else, don't want to look at the child in the eye and say, hey, I can't help you right now. I don't want to do that. So this is what we're trying to implement now, is setting up security in each area that we check, and that way we can get EMS in this area actually starting where we're best now, go best. They wanted to start going in with us the initial time of us searching. We've tried that a few times, and every time our officers got shot because we can't stop seeing them while we're getting shot. That's just not right. We're back. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What do you think of having more school personnel armed in the school?
I think it's great. I still my kids are variable Christian because they have armed people. So I pay them money just for that satisfaction. Oh,
Yeah, it'll be U.S. Marines.
yeah, I'm down for that. Those are bad dudes. I would agree.
Hang on a second. So on behalf of the Edwardsville Rotary and the Sazowski Family and Home Nursery, we'd like to present you with today's centerpiece. You can give that to your wife, your significant other, whoever you want to give it to, brownie points. So really appreciate your help and thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Yeah.